Welcome to Her Health First Wellness Collective, where Black women come first. We're here to educate, advocate, and empower you to take charge of your health. Because your well being is not optional, it's essential. On today's episode, we're talking about celebrating the small wins. We emphasize the importance of celebrating small victories, maintaining a positive mindset, and the role of gratitude in the healing process. You ready to join the conversation? Come on in. Hey y'all, welcome back to Her Health First Wellness Collective. I'm Tracy, and of course, we got our favorite guest, Tamisha, back again this week. So, Mish, what round are we on today?
Round 9.
Round? So that means we are more than halfway because this is 9 of 16. So we are more than halfway. Yes.
Yes.
And I will tell y'all that today we both are not feeling it, okay? Yeah, neither one of us are feeling it. Usually it'll be one or the other, or we'll both be like, hey, it's a chemo day. But today, neither one of us are feeling it. So just please bear with us, okay? So, all right, Tamisha, what is it? How many thumbs we got up? How many down?
Today, it may actually have 2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up? Okay. Excited for 2 thumbs up. We haven't had 2 thumbs up in a while. Because now the cough is gone, the labs look good, and ooh, what was our small win for today? Remember the scale?
Oh, the scale. Oh, yes, I forgot. I gained 2 pounds.
Yes. Because we've been so worried about her losing weight. So, when we saw them 2 pounds, we was like, oh, okay. So that was definitely that was some good news for today. So yes, definitely. So that contributes to the 2 thumbs up. So today, because we've talked a lot about how she felt and how we felt as her family and the things she's done and the things that help her and stuff like that. But today we're going to talk about something a little more practical. We're going to talk about the resources that she has used, the resources that she's gotten from different sources and what she's used and how they have helped. Oh my goodness. Are you ready, Mish? All right, let's do this because y'all already know the Benadryl is going, okay? All right. First question. What resources helped you better understand your diagnosis and treatment options? Did you use any resources? Because I know in the beginning you did some Googling and stuff like that. What else did you use?
Google, my navigator sent me information.
Okay. That's the oncology nurse navigator.
My social worker also sent me things.
Okay.
My doctor gives me things also.
Absolutely.
So those are the main things.
Yeah. Okay. Did you use any books, websites, or any other organizations that help give you some clarity about it or some peace of mind? Maybe something or someone that helped calm, nerves.
What I did Google. I used Google, and I would Google things, but I wasn't looking for anything in particular. I was just looking to see, like, you know, because I didn't really know the steps. The steps in the beginning of how it works. So I do see people like say, oh, they get their chemo, the surgery, and then radiation.
Right.
Because now I know I have to have the surgery. The radiation part is the part that I'm going to try to figure that one out. It's new and you're at radiation. What else did I use? I always use my doctor's reports, a sister report. And then I do utilize information that I get from my navigator. Also, I have a dietitian or nutritionist.
And then mom sends us videos and stuff too.
Mom sends videos.
Okay. All right. Did you get a second opinion when you first got your diagnosis?
No second opinion.
Well, why not?
I felt like we were pressed for time.
Yeah.
Because I've been dealing with the issue with my breast since April.
Right.
2024.
Right.
So I felt for me to go say, oh, let me go get a second opinion. No.
Okay.
Because I knew something was wrong.
Right.
With me. So I felt like if I would have gotten a second opinion, then it would prolong my treatment plan.
Okay. So you didn't feel the need to get a second opinion. And I will say, just being somebody who's in healthcare and being here on the outside looking in at how they care for her and how they treat her, I wouldn't have gone anywhere else either. They are, and I know we've said it time and again, but they are absolutely awesome. If we have questions, even if it's something that we like, we all right. They make sure that they go over it anyway. They're very thorough and just so compassionate. And, some of the nurses here are even cancer survivors themselves. So this environment is This environment is what I envision when, they say, oh, this is a healing environment. This is what I envision in the hospital when they say a healing environment, because everybody is just really supportive, super sweet. There's no negative energy, when you walk in here. So I wouldn't have gone anywhere either, for the record. Okay. Because I like it here. I like it here. Okay. So now, support systems. What kind of support have you leaned on the most? Has it been family, friends, therapists, support groups?
Family and friends. I didn't join any support groups.
Mhm.
I'm not really too good at like talking. I think I'm a better listener.
Yeah.
Maybe I will look into exploring the option.
Mhm.
You just never know. Maybe I could connect with someone.
Right.
Someone, we could connect with each other.
Right.
Or maybe someone that could be going through a hard time. Maybe I could be that helping hand.
Right. Right.
Just like how my family is my helping hand, and my team and my friends are my
Mhm.
helping hand. There, I could be that to someone.
Okay, so what kind of conversations did you have with your doctors or nurses that really help you feel empowered on this journey?
Conversation was they tell me you got it.
Yeah.
And for me, just
Yeah.
for them to be letting me know that I have it.
Mm.
And, this is their specialty, so I trust anything that they tell me to do. I trust them.
Right.
So just by them saying that,
Mhm.
I knew I was going to be okay. So that's why I'm kind of like relaxed, not stressing too much. Of course, you think about, oh, you can't really work because you don't want to compromise your immune. You don't want to go to work and then you get sick and then you get in the hospital and you prolong your treatment. That is on my mind, but we have been, you know, blessed, I would say,
Yeah.
and we utilize our resources. I
Amen.
definitely say you have a navigator, especially at the facility that you are, getting your treatments. So the navigator asks them the question. They have resources out there for us,
Mhm.
and then also you can check with your insurance
Mhm.
also to see
Mhm.
if they have a navigator,
Right.
and you can also work with them as well.
Okay. I like it. I like it. All right. So now we'll touch on some emotional and mental health, which we talked about quite a bit. I think maybe last week, probably, and the week before, because last week we talked about music and movies and stuff like that. But how have you been doing with the emotional part?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm excited that I'm around 9
Yes.
because I know if I hit the double digits,
That's
once we
right.
hit the double digits, we only need to make it to 16. So
Right.
I'm excited. I already have my MRIs, my ultrasound. I have those already scheduled for next month.
And your mammogram.
And a mammogram, and I see my the breast surgeon actually. I'm in the middle of the month, so I'm excited about that. Because when I go to that appointment, then it would determine like what type of surgery do the
Mastectomy.
mastectomy or the
And lump. Yeah.
lumpectomy. See, I don't even know how to say it. And then also with I do have like an issue with the lymph nodes under my arm, my right arm.
Mhm.
Hopefully that comes back and it comes back fine, and I don't have to remove it to get the surgery.
That's right.
That lymph node. So
Yeah. Okay. We'll have to. Okay, so let's talk about what we really came here to talk about. Let's talk about some practical help. What are some financial, transportation, or home care resources that have made a big difference in your journey?
I use two so far. I use the Pink Fund and the breast cancer. So I use the breast cancer Foundation of Central Florida and the Pink Fund. Those two, we utilize the services. They do help pay with. They actually had a 24 to 48 hour turnaround time.
Mhm.
So if you need like a bill paid, they'll pay it within
Right.
within that time frame that the Pink Fund would. I definitely say, if you are in a state that have the Pink Fund, utilize the resources. And the Breast Cancer Foundation of Central Florida, actually they pay everything for your car, utility bills, you got child care for your children. I think they do car insurance. They do several things. And if you have children, they will assist you with um, the funding will be for how many children you have.
Oh, okay.
I believe it's like $200 per child.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. That's awesome. What was the one? Wasn't there one that gave us a gas card?
Yeah, that was from the Pink Fund.
Was that the Pink Fund? Oh, okay.
They also give you a gas card.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I remember the gas card, but I couldn't remember who we got it from. Okay. Okay. So and then we'll see if we can find, maybe websites or links to these resources that we've used and just put them up on a slide, of course, as always at the end. But definitely, like Tamisha said, check in with your nurse navigator, check in with your social worker because everybody has different resources, based on their part of what the role that they play within the journey of within the healthcare team on this journey. So definitely that. So this next question, how did you navigate work, kids, or everyday responsibilities during treatment? I think we've talked about this a lot, where you talked about how, your taste change, it affects you cooking because good example this morning. So she started dinner because we're doing a slow cooker dinner, which we're gonna try to start doing more of on Wednesdays because by the time we get home, we're exhausted. So instead of eating out every Wednesday, we decided we're gonna start doing slow cooker meals. So today we're doing a roast, and so Tamisha put it on while I was working on some projects. So when I got back, then she said she was like, "Oh, can you taste that? Because I think it's salty." And I was like, "I bet you it's not salty." She was like, "But to me, I think it's salty." So I was like, "Oh, okay, let me taste it," and it was perfect. It was perfect, but to her, it's salty. So so we talked about that. You talked about not being able to open jars and stuff like that because of, the neuropathy. Yeah. What else?
That's the main thing is probably the neuropathy
Mm-hmm.
because gotta use my hands.
Yeah.
I'm not able to like open it.
Not able to grip properly. Yeah.
Gripping is a little get take some time to get used to
Right.
because I'm so used to being able to just take the thing and go like this. Now I have to like focus and pull hard.
Right.
The usual.
Right. It said, did anyone help you advocate for yourself in the healthcare system? But I think we talked about that too. The fact that we're like this. Okay. We used to be like this before the diagnosis, but now we're even more like this. And, the thing was that I never even asked her, do you want me to go with you? I just was like, oh, we going. We are on this journey. And I just couldn't imagine having her go through this by herself. Like, I would never, like, I look at people and we talk about it all the time, how some people feel like they're a burden and stuff like that. And I'm just like, wow, like, I'm glad that she's not one of those type of people because, I would I couldn't imagine not doing it. Like for me, it was a no brainer. Oh, every Wednesday? Okay. Well, at the beginning it was every other Wednesday. Well, every other Wednesday, okay, got it. That's what we did. And a lot of times you'll hear me say we because
One, no one fights this alone.
that's right. That's right. We do it together. Yeah. So I think between the two of us, we do a pretty good job of advocating for you and remembering. And again, like I said, your healthcare team, they're awesome. Like the nurse that you had not last week, the week before, with the cough. Remember, she was like, you know what? I'm gonna message the doctor anyway. Yeah. So
she was like, let me just see. She was like, I just want to make sure you don't have any, bronchitis. And I appreciate that because she did go an extra step further to say, you know what, you had this cough for a while. You're on medication. Your cough is still there. Let me just reach out to your doctor to let her know.
Right.
And message her. She even went to speak to her personally. That's how concerned she was.
Right.
Just to make sure I was so, appreciative for it.
Right.
She didn't have to do that.
Right. Right. Yeah, I can't say enough good things about the care team here. I just can't. And I've never had an experience with Tampa General before. I mean, I know you had your surgery, but that was during COVID and nobody could come. So, she was basically on her own. Yeah. So I've never had any experience with Tampa General as a healthcare system, but this has been a very pleasant experience. It's not a positive one because cancer is not positive, but the experience has been very, very positive. Very positive. So I love it. All right. So let's talk about. So we talked about some of the research. We talked about the Pink Fund and what is it?
The
Breast Cancer Foundation of Central Florida. Let me get my life together. Okay. So, is there anything that you feel or any kind of resources that you feel maybe lacking, like there's a need for any kind of, like, is there any kind of unique resource you could think of or a need that you can think of that maybe to look for some resources for?
I think for me pretty much they do have a lot of resources.
Mhm.
They have mental health. They have you can join the support group whether you want to do it in person.
Right.
You can do it online. You can, definitely if you need help with like your eating because you may need help because you gotta understand with the chemo,
Mhm.
your body's going through so many changes and you do need to make sure you
Right.
eat because you gotta make sure your potassium is good, your magnesium. You definitely gotta make sure your sugar
Mhm.
is good. Like for me, I have been the last 3 months because I'm so concerned with gaining weight. I've been eating like the bread, eating the rice because I didn't want to. I don't want to lose the weight because you lose a certain amount of weight, they're gonna definitely have to put you on some probably type of regimen or something. They didn't want that, but when you're eating and you're preparing your meals, you have to look at everything.
Mhm.
So what you eat for breakfast,
Mhm.
lunch, dinner, and snacks. The sugar, like when I think of sugar, even though I know, I always think of sugar like through candy.
Right.
Through juice.
Yeah.
I'm not thinking that, once you go eat that bread,
Right.
it's going to break into sugar.
Right.
Go eat that pasta.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
going to break down into sugar.
Absolutely.
So that, I think, keep that in mind.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to switch my diet up.
Yeah.
Like, really, really. I'm thinking about the Mediterranean diet. I'm not sure, but I did reach out to my navigator from my insurance to see if she or he or she think that's a good diet
Mhm.
to a good diet to follow.
Mhm.
Being that I'm on chemo,
Mhm.
but I know I need to eat a lot of proteins as well.
Right.
I definitely know that. But I know the Mediterranean like lots of vegetables
Mhm.
and stuff like that. I know I do need the vegetables, but I still also need the proteins.
Right. Right. So I think
And potassium.
right. Right. So I think that's something that we addressed before. And then that's one of those resources that, we're so fortunate to have. You have the dietitian and then you have the nurse navigator just to ask questions. So that's definitely something we're going to be utilizing, just all of us in general. Just because even though, you have cancer, you still have those underlying things that affect you, the high blood pressure, diabetes, all that stuff runs in high cholesterol, that stuff runs in our family. So it's a very delicate balance because it's kind of like when you're pregnant. You can only keep down certain things, but you got to try to eat right, because if you don't have it, the baby's going to take it. So it's kind of the same thing. You eat what you can, but sometimes the stuff that you can eat is not that good for you, or especially in large amounts. So that's the battle that we're fighting here, especially because her tastes change every day, so every day is something different, but bread, rice, the carbs have been something that she could consistently eat. I will say, I know you started on the eating more sweet potatoes, so that was good.
Okay, so we have somebody that makes pillows.
I think I like that.
That is cute.
They're so talented. Yeah.
They are.
Hope and love. I think it's just a little community. It's just
Yeah.
make like blankets and pillows, and it's just the darndest thing.
Oh, that is awesome. That is so pretty.
Tell me this is not pretty.
That is too cute. Too cute.
They didn't. Someone made it, but
Uh-huh.
they did not leave like the company going. I don't know if they just do it for fun.
Yeah.
The pillow, but this pillow is so soft.
Yeah.
And it's just, oh my god.
That is so cute. Oh.
It's so adorable. So they just gave me a pillow.
Right.
So now I'm gonna have a pillow that I can add to my collection.
Yes. So see, that gives way to what we want to do. We want to just make some little mementos and leave them here, and give some special ones to the staff, but we can leave some, for other patients and stuff like that. Just because this journey is hard. I mean, it's hard. I think no matter who you are, it's hard. It's just so any little thing, that we can do definitely helps. But that is too cute. I love it. I love it. I love it. So we talked as far as resources. So we've had financial resources, we've had dietary resources, we've had, of course, I cannot speak today. Of course, healthcare resources, and then we talked about the fact that there's pretty much everything is covered as far as resources, which is awesome because when you get news like this, you don't think very clearly for a while. Now we're at the point where it's regular and it's normal for us. This is our new normal. But in the beginning, it was just like,
What, Wednesday, really?
okay, yeah,
Wednesday
already, yeah,
Wednesday already.
yeah,
Now it's like, okay, Wednesday's here.
yeah.
Time to go to chemo.
Yep, yep, yeah. And I think another thing in the way of resources is utilizing, like you said, your family and your friends. Because resources doesn't always have to come in the way of something financial or the dietary and stuff like that. Sometimes it's just having a conversation with somebody that you can get a good laugh.
Yes.
Somebody who will lift your spirits. Who will lift your spirits. So definitely, which for us, it's just how we're built. It's a tough thing to ask for help. It's a tough thing to accept help. We're learning. We're learning. We have no choice. We're learning. But yes, definitely just accept the help. Ask for the help. Use the help. Yeah, just use everything and everyone around you. We talked about keeping the positivity. We talked about at one point we talked about affirmations and stuff like that. So, what else? Anything else that you think you would like to share?
I do have some other foundations that I didn't mention. Secure.org.
Okay.
It's also another foundation that you should also look into.
Okay.
The Susan Komen
Mhm.
Foundation.
Susan G. Komen, yeah.
You should look into that. Now, I don't know where everyone is at, but I think for sure that Susan Komen she's pretty much
I think it's nationwide.
nationwide.
Yeah, I think.
Now some of the ones that I mentioned,
Yeah.
like the
Pink
breast-
Sun and Breast Cancer
Breast
Foundation
Cancer
of Central
of
Florida.
you have to be in that.
Right, right, right. But Susan G. Komen, I think, is national. And cancercare.org, I believe, is national also. I'm not sure about the Pink Fund, but yeah. So definitely, check them out because you never know. They may have something that you need. And, like we said earlier, shoot, we got a gas card. It was what, like 2 tanks of gas or something? Yeah.
Yes, it was. And also with the cancercare.org, they also, if you need additional resources,
Mhm.
they'll also email you additional resources.
Oh, nice.
Like they're not only just for themselves,
Right.
they also would give you other outside resources as well.
Oh, wow.
Other foundations.
Okay. Definitely awesome. So we'll definitely find those links and we'll share them. They'll be at the end of the video. So we talked about the Pink Fund, Breast Cancer Foundation of Central Florida, cancercare.org, Susan G. Komen Foundation. And for good educational resources, the American Cancer Society.
Yes.
They're a very good resource as far as cancer as an umbrella topic. And they do have on their website different educational resources where you can, kind of look up what the typical treatment is for different types of cancer and stuff like that. And of course, everybody's not going to be typical. Kind of gives you an idea into what to expect for, with the journey. And I want to say, I'm pretty sure when I looked on there that they had caregiver resources also, which, and when I say caregiver, I don't look at myself as a caregiver. Because she is still very healthy, outside the chemo, she's still very healthy and able to do most things, for herself. There's some minor inconveniences in daily life, but I wouldn't consider myself a caregiver. But sometimes just looking through that information can kind of give you more insight into how that person is feeling because they may not be always be able to put it into words, so definitely check those resources out if you or anybody is going through chemo, has gone through chemo. I know we have a brother-in-law who's gone through chemo twice. He's gone through chemo twice, yeah, and he beat it twice. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So definitely shout out to him also. But they've been a resource also. My brother-in-law, our brother-in-law and our sister have been a resource also. So, and I think in the beginning, like we said, it's always something that's so private. But as soon as you say, oh, I'm battling breast cancer, or if I say my sister just got diagnosed with breast cancer, you would be surprised. Oh, my mom's a breast cancer survivor. Oh, I'm a breast cancer survivor. Because how many people have we met that,
At least
maybe
two,
at least two. And then I know, like, I have a friend, her cousin's a breast cancer survivor. My friend herself is an ovarian cancer survivor. My daughter's late grandmother, she had breast cancer and beat it once, and it came back metastasized, and unfortunately she lost the battle with cancer back in December. But all resources, it's here and it's around us, but people don't talk about it. So, once one person starts to talk about it, then the other person is like, oh, me too, or my mom, or this or that, So um we're definitely grateful for any insight. As we always say, we're grateful for the support. We're grateful for the prayers. We get a lot of prayers, and yes, absolutely, absolutely. Because every story is not Tamisha's story. Every story doesn't go like that. And which we talk about the nose hairs all the time, where the nose hairs are her thing and that aggravate her to no end, and the increase in the fluids, that's what is the hardest things for her. It may not be for you or for whoever your loved one is that's battling whatever type of cancer. And don't think that we discriminate against the other types of cancers, because we don't. But yeah, we just wanted to pop on here this week and, just share with you some of the resources that we've used so far. And we're going on 4 months in this journey now. So it's been 3.5 months in this journey. And, those resources have really come in handy, especially with the fact that my sister's not able to work like she used to. So those resources have definitely come in handy. So if you know of any resources that we didn't mention here, or any resources that would benefit us or anybody else, please let us know. Drop them in the comments. Send us a DM. We're on Instagram, Her Health First WC. We're on, I want to say I'm on Facebook. I'm not sure though. Definitely YouTube, Her Health First WC. TikTok, Her Health First WC. So yeah, if you or anyone else that you know could either use this information, or you have information to add, definitely let us know, because we greatly appreciate it. And definitely spread the word. So that is it for us today. We talked about the resources, and Tamisha's having a 2 thumbs up day.
Yes.
Except for the fact that she's getting Keytruda today.
Keytruda.
Yeah. So the last couple of times she got Keytruda wasn't too bad. The first time was that.
The first time,
Yeah. It was rough. Yeah, that first time. Yeah.
I'm not even gonna lie, it was rough. It was like, I just feel like I didn't want to move because I was just felt like I was so drained, like so fatigued. You think that I worked like 3 jobs in one day.
Yeah.
Like that's how I felt every day, just like fatigued. Didn't really want to too much eat because I was so tired. I didn't even want to eat. I just was like, oh, I don't even want to eat this food.
Right.
Because I didn't even want to feed myself.
Right. Right.
But now that I take it, I get it every 6 weeks. It's getting better.
Yeah.
It's getting better. So hopefully, being that it's today that I'm getting the Keytruda, hopefully it don't make me too tired.
Right. Right. We hope so.
Fingers
crossed. So far, it's still a 2 thumbs up day.
Still a 2. I still give it 2.
We hope it stays that way, but we'll definitely keep you posted. Okay, we'll definitely keep you posted. So yeah, so that is it for us today. As always, thank you for the outpouring of love, the gratitude, the support that you've shown Tamisha. And again, Tamisha, as always, thank you for allowing me to be part of this.
To be honest, I would have never got on the camera. I don't really do camera. I really want to post a lot.
Right.
Kind of more like, I'm like a listener type, behind the scene type. I don't really like the attention. So for me, it kind of brought me out of my shell.
Yeah.
Not that I'm shy, but it brought me out of my shell. Like, let me do something different. Let me get on the camera.
Right.
At first I was like, no, I'm not going to get on the camera. I'm just going to let them hear my voice.
Yeah.
But then I said, you know what? Let me just live in my truth with their, I don't have to get it here with the no eyebrows.
Yeah.
I'm just going to live in my truth.
Yeah. Oh, you cute. You rocking it.
If it wasn't so cold, I definitely would have rocked it.
Yeah.
It's like free. It's like,
it's very cold.
You have no hair. It's like, it seems like you're just always so cold. I hate for my ears to be cold. I see that's why I have my hoodie. I always wear hoodies so I get 2 cartons, put it over my head.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Look, you look good doing it. So, but thank you for allowing me to be part of this to share your story. As always, thank you for tuning in every week. Okay, we love you, and we will see you next week.